Hey everybody, this is John and welcome to the free video, and let's dive in here and take a look. So here's one stock that has gotten away from me, ANET, and I love this stock. It's an IBD 50 stock, high short interest. Here's the squeeze. And on Friday it started to break out and I was like, no, I'm gonna wait for the pullback. And you can see what happens. This is called, don't be a dick for a tick. And now this thing is up like $5 a share from where I could have got in. Now I know some of the people in the trading room went ahead and jumped in, and that's awesome. And so the question that comes up is, well, what do you do in a situation like this? And one is, remember, the average squeeze lasts 8 to 10 bars, so that implies that there's some more upside to this. But the other thing, and the smarter choice, is to move on to the next trade. My setup for this is when I see those red dots, I want to buy near these moving averages, okay? And by forcing myself to follow my plan, it also makes me follow a more disciplined course, okay? And that's really, really important for stuff like this. So while I love this stock, I think it acts great. I missed it, and what we're looking for here is a high probability entry. Now, if you're just buying the stock and you want to buy and hold for a while, then it's not as critical. But for me, when I'm doing these daily squeezes, I'm actually looking for something to hold on to for 8 to 10 days or something like that, okay? And then let's look at, I want to see, we looked at, and this is one that I really like here as well. So this is one that I did get today. And you can see here that there is a squeeze setting up. It is not triggered yet. We got an RAF buy. Here's the all-time high, and we're now, not too far away from that. And so I like the idea that this can build up some steam and actually pop through this. And then the 1272 extension on this would be $138. Okay, so that's what we got there. Okay, so one question people will ask me about a lot in trading is, if you can, like, making a living trading, okay? So can you make a living trading, which implies a lot of things, but the main thing that it implies is, can you have an account, okay, like a farm? Like if you've got a farm and say you've got 100 acres of land, and, if you grow wheat on that and every quarter harvest the wheat, that gives you money, right? But the key is that you keep your land intact, and then every quarter or, every twice a year or whatever it is, you can replant and harvest. Well, if you treat your trading account correctly, you can do the same thing. And the key is just understanding what the right stocks are, okay, and what strategies you can do with it. So on something like this for Costco, so this is Costco. You'll note I deliberately chose 11 days out. You'll note that I've got a long call and a put credit spread. And this is specifically money that I will wire out of my account at the end of the week, okay? And I think this is so critical to be able to take money consistently out of your account week after week. One, it helps you psychologically, okay? It's like, wow, this is real. I'm doing something. This is not some fantasy game that I'm playing, right? Two, it makes you disciplined, all right? Who cares if you miss a trade? Your goal isn't to be right. Your goal isn't to catch every move. Your goal is to make money, okay? So if you only do 3 trades a week, but you meet your income goals, okay, then who cares, right? And so that's the kind of stuff that's important. And so there are trades that I set up specifically for income, okay? So here's Win. Win's had a great move, and I could have made a lot more money on this trade had I bought calls, okay? But instead, I did something more conservative. Why? Because that's my money, okay? And at the end of this week, I want to wire out $15,000 or $16,000 from this trade alone. And then I can use that money, and typically what I do is I like to do at least half into a tangible asset, okay? Land, gold and stuff like that too, but it's a minimum. I can do more, but at least half. And then the other half is for experiences. And typically that'll be like, say, with my family or something like that. Hey, let's go. We're going to go to Africa this year, and so that's money I can use for that. All right. So this is something that I've been doing with my account this year, and what I'm going to do is on this webinar, I'll show you my statements and everything like that too. But this free webinar will be simplertrading.com/wire. Okay, and this is just called Weekly Wires from Wall Street. And this is a combination of specific income generating strategies, okay, that are designed with the goal of making a minimum of 2.5% a week, which is 10% a month, okay? And you might think, well, that's not even possible. So just for proof, let me show you my account. So first of all, this is not a graphic. You can see this is connected. It's real time. There's my account number. The clock's moving. Okay, and that's my balance. You know, I think, okay, well, great. So you put a bunch of money in your account. It's like, no, I started this year with $117,000. Okay, so this is great. Now everything's squished up over here. But you can see that my overall P&L year to date is $744,000. Okay, so how can that be? Well, what I've done with this is I started off with $117,000, and then once I hit 400,000, I started wiring out 2.5% a week. But then there's times when I make more than 2.5% per week, so that there's money that stays into the account and it keeps growing. And so what I want to do is I want to show you the strategies that I've been utilizing, not only the setups, okay, because not only the setups for doing this, but more importantly, the money management and attitude towards your account when you want to do this, okay? So, so I have obviously, and I found with this, believe it or not, the worst thing you can do is state a monetary goal of where you want to get to. And the psychological stuff here is so critical, and I'll be covering that as well. And so you'll see here, like for last week, right here, so at the end of the week, I just calculate my net liquidating balance, and then I take 2.5% of that, so client requested electronic funding. In that case, 2.5% of the, you know, 750 whatever $1,000 it was $18,802. I wire that out. My account starts at 733, and then boom, my you know, my clock starts all over again. So anyway, this is going to be awesome. Again, just go to simplertrading.com/wire. And again, free webinar Thursday, June 8th at 7 o'clock Central, which is 8 o'clock East Coast time, and then just claim your spot right there. In addition to the free webinar, which is at /wire, if you go to simplertrading.com/Austin, and let me move this a little bit here, we're having our live event starting I think it's the 11th, it's the June 12th and 13th, and our live event is sold out, but we are going to stream it. And so if you're interested in participating in our live event via the web, that is now open for registration to a limited number of spots, and you can just go to that link, okay? So again, just to reiterate, and this is going to be a free webinar, which is going to be freaking awesome, just talking about that whole weekly wire process, both from a mental perspective, because you got to be in the right mental state to do that or it's not going to work, but obviously plus from a technical setup perspective, and then that's free. And if you would like to participate in the live streaming of our live event, you can go right there. All right, you guys have a good one, and we'll see you at the next update.